Greetings, my friends. I am Gilles Mansillon. I hope you're having a good day. We're celebrating today the Assumption. It is the day where Mother Mary was Spirit came down to elevate her into the heavenly realm at the end of her life. And so for me, my great grandmother was named Mary. So we used to celebrate this. I used to spend a lot of my summer vacation in the south of France, in Provence, and so I was with them, my great grandparents. They were wonderful people, and so we used to celebrate this day. And so it is Madame Marie, the mother of the Christ, was somebody who came without karma. She's an archangel that works on the heart in the frequency of the emerald ray of the heart with the archangel Raphael. And today I feel we are ready. It says, Creator, I am ready. Bring it on. Thank you, God, to liberate me, to free me. I am ready, Creator. You can bring it on. It's like it took a long time to get there. Because we had to learn to be divine in chaos, in heavy energy, in very imperfect reality, and still be true to ourselves. Before we can become divine in a perfect, harmonious, abundant reality. It was a very big challenge to be a master and sovereign of ourselves while living in poverty and alone and solitude, and that we needed to master master the test before accessing to our wealth and public recognitions. But it is very challenging to feel inner abundance and inner wealth and all that while having to deal with extreme survival. For not everybody has to go through that. But for me, well, it was a test. It was a test of faith. It was a test of resilience. It was a test of patience. But I feel like the time has come. Thank you, Creator. I thank you so very much. It is my time. I am ready. For we're getting ready for the solar flash. It's going to be 3 days of darkness that will initiate a complete transformation of the psyche of humanity. Right now, everybody lives within his own reality in his mind. But after that flash, those few days of transformation, everybody will know they're connected to everybody else and nature, and it's going to be all kinds of transformation that will be assisted by the sun. I thank you not to forget to subscribe. I appreciate. I thank you for your likes. I thank you for your comments. I always enjoy to see what you think about that, all that. I thank you for your likes and for your sharing. I thank you so very much for your donations. I know I'm very close to my financial freedom. In the meantime, it really assists me. I thank you for your kind, generous donations. And if you want a private session or discuss paintings, you feel free to send me an email. And so it's going to be a very big change after this solar flash we're expecting. It's not today. It hasn't happened today, but it will be happening soon. It's the message keeps coming as be ready. Huh? For right now in my life, there is 90% of my life is completely intangible. It is revealed by spirit, but it's intangible. The only thing that's fully tangible is my art, the art I have here in my hands, which is like 10%. And even in my art, I have only 1% of my art. The rest is in the hands of some other people. I pray to God that I will be able to get them back, because I do believe that they're important for the future of humanity. Since 99% of my art is in limbo right now, it's been a great concern. I've been living with this knife in my back for quite a few years. I pray to God that this will be soon solved, and it will all go well. For it is for spirit, the intangible, the potential, just as real as the actual and what is physical. So I'm doing my best to accept the intangible as tangible. For that is the challenge. Can we feel, can we believe 100% of what we receive, regardless of what the external manifestations are? For love is the most intangible of all energies. I'm not even sure that contemporary science can prove that love exists. Yet anybody that's been in love knows that it is the most powerful force in the universe. So it is, and that is, it's not even cosmic love, but love is the most powerful force in the universe. So eventually we're going to be able to to develop new technologies that will be able to assess the world of energy and the level of wisdom of every being, and will be able to work within a more republican society where wisdom will be leading the way rather than electing leaders that don't care at all about their people, but only interested in the game of power they can do among each other. For that's what I see a lot of, there is a lot of, not all, but I see a lot of world leaders that are all they care about is their ego, power over all everybody else, or the sense of it's massive ego and self-interest power. So it's like we're going to need new leaders that are ready to accept that they're serving the whole, without hurting any aspect. It's not because some people want to hurt the rich, other people don't care about the poor. So it's like it's about eliminating poverty, but still favorizing the ability for prosperity and abundance for those who are enterprising, that can provide also for those who do not have this sense of creativity yet. So it is important to see that human beings are like little children. So they shouldn't be really blamed for all those negative things they do, because they don't feel responsible. When you have little children, they can do, like, if they're not educated properly, which is not always the case in humanity, they are allowed to left to themselves without proper guidance. They can do very irresponsible things. Well, you can see that in history, even recent history. And some of them are more like teenagers. They are rebel against everything. Doesn't mean that eventually they will have to come into some sort of maturity. But understanding we're a very young race here. The human race is a very young race. And although it believes itself to be the most intelligent beings in the universe and the center of the universe, it is not the case. I pretty much guarantee that. I know that. But the awakened ones is only 1% of the population, but we'll have the responsibility to guide the rest towards the return to the common sense of the quality of life and the respect of all life, nature, and so on. But we are assisted by the invisible forces of the universe. We never had so much assistance from the angels, archangels, the galactic, the ascended masters, the gods, all kinds of invisible forces that are assisting the process. For there are much older races in this quadrant of the galaxy. The elder races are the Lyrian races, Miao, and our groups, Polaris, with the oldest civilizations. But then the Lyrians started to develop, to seed all kinds of civilizations throughout the whole quadrants: the Orions, the Pleiades, the Sirian, the Arcturus. The Arcturus is a balanced model between the inner and the outer. When the Lyrians, Miao, are really in the expansion of the universe, and they created the civilization Vega, Miao, who are completely introverted, just like the Tibetan monks. So they're really seeking the connection to the source. So the Lyrians and the Vegans, although they're part of the same system, they have a completely opposite system of beliefs. Miao, so that is genetic history, the Pashets, they call the Pashets, the Felidae, the cats, the lions. Those are the oldest civilizations, as well as many others, but they are the ancestors of many, just as the Pleiadians and the Orions are very powerful influence on our civilization, just as the Syrians also have a long history with us, as well as the Arcturians. The Arcturians are really balanced, and they are in alignment with the Andromedians. So the Andromedians are also very much implicated, and there are many others that will be introduced to this. To eventually, exopolitics will become a subject in schools here. We'll know that we're not alone in the universe, and in the universe there are countless civilizations. Even in this galaxy, it is so huge, it is so big, but right now we're dealing with this quadrant, and there are positive civilization, neutral civilization, and negative civilizations. positive civilizations being the Galactic Federation of Light, the Intergalactic Federation of Free World, the Ashtar Command. There are many, many groups and alliances in this Christed being, the beings that are working through light and love. They are neutral beings that are just here for scientific reasons. They don't belong and they don't serve. They're only serving themselves, but they're not hurting in the process. And they are negatively oriented beings that are here to dominate, to possess, to control, to lie, to oppress, to nourish themselves from the negative energy they can create. And those beings are slowly but surely being pushed out and eradicated from our planet and from this galaxy. Eventually this galaxy will become fully ascended. The whole galaxy will be fully ascended and will become the golden rose galaxy with all its thorns, and it will be a rose, but it will be there is still the thorns that led us to the ascension. But fifth dimensional or above beings will be able to circulate throughout the circuits of the galaxy, but no fourth dimensional beings will be able to come into this to this galaxy. So, but then when yesterday I did some work in removing some archons, and this morning I felt I was really attacked by those dark beings. They react. I'm not really. I don't want them anything. I don't have any ill will towards them. I know they fulfill the function, but I want to return them to God and the source so they can find another way to continue their growth and evolution without abusing the planet and humanity. Yet we still have to be careful in relationship to the energies that may be trying to lower our frequency. Personally, I do feel that it's time very soon for me to move out from this area. I'm in the north of Paris, and even if I was in the west of Paris, in Neuilly, in the really nice area, I would still be out to sell paintings. But here, I have no chance to meet anybody. I do feel it's really important that I feel I need now, and it's like to get into an environment where I can surround myself with artists and collectors and people in this field, and to share and communicate. So, but it is a challenge to incarnate love and wisdom in a world that is that is all made about the opposite of that. It's all about confrontation and ego dominations. So, but we're receiving much help from the higher planes. Personally, my desire for freedom and independence trumps any other desires in my life at this point, and it's really and I'm ready to do anything to achieve that, except to do something that would be illegal or immoral. A lot of people that are ready to do all kinds of illegal things to get what they need to go, and there's a lot of people that are staying within the law, but they're doing a lot of immoral things. For me, I have those boundaries. It has to be legal and it has to be moral. Other than that, I'm ready to do anything to achieve that freedom and to be free from this. To be able to move forward a little bit in my to move back towards a more because I feel the energy, so I'm happy for the energy I feel, but it's hard to hold the frequency when it's not supported, it cannot be supported by actions. But the door will open. I know the door is opening. Thank you, my Creator. I am ready. Bring it on. So I'm going to pull a few cards. Thank you, my friends. I would thank you very much for your support. I'm grateful, and I'll continue to serve. For the card of the day is imagination. It is important to continue to cultivate your imagination. The higher wisdom is the treasure island. It is this treasure that is coming. What needs to be understood is my card of the day is the soulmates. The penguins are very, they only take one mate for life. And yet there is millions of penguins, and when a penguin goes to swim, he goes back, he always finds his mate, and they all look alike to us, but to them, they always find his mate and his egg. They're really, they're amazing little beings, the birds. What we need to do is the yin, to allow our things to come to us, and it's going to come naturally. Because we are ready. And the outcome is the respect of the rule. It is staying within the law. It is following the law. And so I'm going to show some paintings and then pull out a few more cards that I did yesterday. This one I wasn't sure if I'm going to keep this blue wave. but maybe it is solid enough. There's all kinds of stories around it. Or maybe I'm going to do a little something. I'm not really sure. I took a photo and signed this, but until it's framed and sold, everything can be changed. So this one is there's all kinds of stories in it. For it reflects all the art this art of mine is reflecting a little bit all kinds of moods, and this one is pretty intense. And I think artists need to renew themselves. When you have an artist that's is doing all his life the same thing, I feel it is a bit boring. Like an artist has to be to renew, to advance. Like, well, I'm not talking about the old masters because they were establishing a ground, or even the impressionists because they were breaking free from the from a traditional figuratism. But when it comes to modern art, there has to be a renewal. Like I love Vlaminck, but at the beginning he used to make faux paintings, and then he started to doing those landscape with heavy skies, and they were selling. So that's all he did for the rest of his life. Yet, if I would buy a Vlaminck, it would be a faux painting, an early painting. Same thing with Chagall. At some point, I understand. At some point, he did the ceiling of the Paris Opera, and he became famous, and he started doing these blue paintings, and they were all the same. But he needed to make a living, so I cannot blame him for continuing to make that. But the early paintings are more maybe a little bit more interesting, and but there are people like who always change throughout their life. Like they had many styles, like Picasso, or like Soulage, who made only black paintings his whole life, or Fontana that would just make the cuts in the paintings. I mean, of course, they explore one thing, but it's just one tiny minuscule thing, which is good. But I would get bored if I was not going to renew myself. For me, I started doing paintings on writing on my paintings. This one kind of like I wasn't sure if I was going to touch the black, but I don't think I can touch it. Then I moved into cosmic paintings with the stars, and then I moved into cosmology, the universe of universes. Then I returned to a new level of stars and planets, and then I went into interiors and scenes and interiors and paintings within paintings. And then in 2019 I did about 200 different this one I retouched a little bit with some, I think it is nicer now, some gold and purple. I did about over 200 studies on paper of all kinds of things, portraits and all that. So as soon as I have a studio, I'm going to start exploring some completely new. But now I'm doing those abstract paintings. They are action paintings. If you're interested, I'm still very flexible about the price. I'm really eager to see them framed and to be able to present them into the world. They're all very, very unique and different. Of course, they will be so much nicer framed. Paperwork really needs to be framed. And they're easy to ship too, because it's not like the nature of them being on paper. Well, for me, art is really a passion. It's like Picasso, Dali, the Impressionists, Van Gogh. And just like those were the people that really they opened my mind, my heart, and I wanted to really get into the art. So first I went into commercial art and design, and then eventually fine art. Eventually I opened a gallery in Los Angeles, and then I became an art broker, and eventually my own art came out, and I continue. But I love dealing art. I love not just my art, but the art. My art is very unique. So it's like when I had my galleries, I had 2 galleries already, but I didn't have my own art to show. So now it's going to be very different having that. It's like a yellow ship that's coming out in the middle of this dramatic scene. And then there's this one. Well, thank you for staying with me till the end. I'm going to pull some cards. I hope you're having a good day. Prepare ourselves for this new life. And the observer of the day is protection. We are protected. The destiny is always protected. God will always protect and guard what matters most. And we are the guardian as well. So we'll see past, present, future. So the past is focus. We're learning concentrated focus. And it's very important to learn to stay focalized on one thing, to be fine pointed in our focal point. Where we are now is taking risk. It's like we have to take risk. If we don't take risk, we're not gonna. Nothing's gonna happen. We'll stay. It's just important to make leaps of faith. And what's the future is patience, and we do have to wait a little bit because we have to through the process we are healing in the chaos, and we're gonna be able to move into wisdom. And so the future is like the immediate future. We just need to wait for it to come to us. What we have inside of us is freedom. We already have this freedom inside. We just want to manifest it in the outside world to be able to share that freedom. And the outside world is opportunity. So the opportunities are going to be coming, and we're ready for it. So we'll embrace them. And in terms of opportunity, there is going forward, wonderful. There is happiness, and there is standstill. So we're going to be able to breathe, to breathe, to release, and to create. It's very important. Well, my friends, I hope this message resonated with you. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much for your support, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.